What if I told you that the reason you keep starting strong and burning out is not because you lack discipline, but because you have been running on a fuel that was never designed to last? What if the real secret to a life of consistency, peace, and lasting success has nothing to do with waking up earlier, tracking your habits, or watching another motivational video, and everything to do with a single, quiet shift in how you view your effort, your purpose, and your relationship with the one who holds your future? Do not scroll past this. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I am about to share with you is not another temporary fix. It is a timeless principle that has carried heavy hearts through the darkest seasons, and if you truly let it sink into your daily life, it will change how you work, how you heal, and how you trust forever. Let us be completely honest with each other. You have felt this cycle before. You wake up inspired. You write down your goals. You download a new planner. You promise yourself that this time you will finally stay consistent. You push hard for 2 weeks, maybe 3. Then life happens. A setback arrives. Progress slows. The excitement fades. And slowly the routine collapses. You tell yourself you lack motivation. You blame your willpower. You search for another system, another mentor, another quick fix to reignite the spark. But here is the truth you need to hear today. Motivation is not the problem. Relying on motivation as your primary fuel is. Motivation is emotional. It rises when the path is clear, when results are visible, when you feel energized, when people are cheering you on. It drops when you face rejection, when the work becomes repetitive, when you are tired, when you are alone, when the silence stretches longer than you expected. You cannot build a lasting life on shifting ground. You cannot construct a steady future on a feeling that changes with your sleep, your stress, your notifications, or your circumstances. What you actually need is a flame that does not depend on your mood. A fire that burns quietly, consistently, even when you are exhausted, even when you doubt, even when you fail. That flame is built on one thing: sincere intention, steady action, complete trust in Allah. This is not a productivity hack. This is not a mindset trick. This is a spiritual rhythm. It is the alignment of your heart with divine wisdom. And when you live it, consistency stops being a struggle and starts being a natural expression of who you are becoming. You stop asking yourself, do I feel like doing this today? You start asking, what is the right thing to do, regardless of how I feel? That single question changes your entire trajectory. It moves you from chasing inspiration to cultivating devotion. It moves you from burning out to burning bright. Let me show you why this works so deeply. When you operate only on motivation, your nervous system is constantly scanning for the next dopamine hit. You measure your worth by your output. You tie your peace to your progress. And when progress stalls, your identity fractures. You feel like a failure. You question your purpose. You lose momentum. But when you anchor yourself in sincere intention and trust, something profound happens. Your effort becomes worship. Your patience becomes praise. Your setbacks become training. You stop tying your value to external results and you start grounding it in internal sincerity. You realize that showing up with a pure heart matters more than the applause that follows. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, gave us this foundation with beautiful clarity. He taught us that actions are judged by intentions, and every person will receive exactly what they intended. Think about the weight of those words. They mean that your daily work becomes sacred if your heart is aligned with sincerity. They mean that your patience with a difficult colleague, your extra hour of study, your quiet effort when no one is watching, your restraint in a moment of anger, all of it becomes meaningful when your intention is directed toward pleasing Allah. Motivation asks you to feel inspired before you act. Faith asks you to act with sincerity, and peace will follow in its own time. You might be wondering how to actually live this. How do you replace the exhausting cycle of motivation and burnout with something that endures? Let me walk you through it, step by step, in a way you can apply today, tomorrow, and for the rest of your life. It begins with intention. Before you check your phone, before you rush into the noise of the day, take 30 seconds. Place your hand on your heart if it helps you focus. Say quietly, in your own words, "Oh Allah, I intend to please you today. Let my work be worship. Let my patience be praise. Let my struggles be purification. I do this for your sake, not for people approval. That is it. You do not need long prayers. You do not need perfect wording. You just need honesty. Intention is the compass. Without it, even the hardest effort becomes empty. With it, even the smallest step becomes sacred. Then comes action. And this is where many people misunderstand trust. They think trusting Allah means sitting back and waiting for life to change. That is not trust. That is neglect. Allah does not love neglect. He loves effort. He loves those who strive, who show up, who try again after falling, who keep moving even when the path is unclear. The Quran reminds us clearly, when you have made your decision, then place your trust in Allah. Indeed, Allah loves those who place their trust in Him. Notice the order. Decision first, trust second, action first, surrender second. They are not opposites. They are partners. You do your part. You study. You work. You care for your family. You seek solutions. You build your skills. You communicate with kindness. You show up consistently. And then you release the outcome. You do not tie your worth to the result. You do not base your peace on the reply you are waiting for. You measure your success by your sincerity, not by the scoreboard. This is where your heart finally gets to rest. When you are obsessed with outcomes you cannot control, your body stays in survival mode. Your mind races, your sleep fractures, your patience thins. You start seeing life as a threat instead of a trust. But when you anchor your heart in trust, something beautiful happens. Your shoulders drop, your breathing deepens, your decisions become clearer. You stop forcing doors open and start walking through the ones that open naturally. You stop comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. You stop measuring your value by external validation. You begin to see trials as training, delays as protection, and silence as preparation. The Quran tells us that Allah will surely test you with fear, with hunger, with loss of wealth, with loss of loved ones, with hardship in your efforts, but give good news to those who remain patient. Notice it does not say, if you will be tested. It says you will surely be tested. Testing is not punishment. It is purification. It is refinement. It is the process that removes what is weak so what is strong can remain. But you will miss the lesson if you are too busy fighting the fire instead of learning how to walk through it with purpose. The one thing you need is not motivation to endure the pain. It is trust to walk through it with meaning. Think about the life of Prophet Musa, peace be upon him. He stood before the sea, pursued by an army, with nowhere to run. Human logic said it was over, but he did not panic. He did not wait for motivation. He remembered who held the keys to the unseen. He spoke the words of trust, and then by divine command the sea parted. The miracle did not come before the step, it came after. The same applies to you. You will not see the full path until you take the first step with sincerity. You do not need to feel ready. You just need to begin with trust. Think about Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. He faced betrayal from his own brothers. He was thrown into a well. He was taken far from home. He was falsely accused. He was forgotten in prison for years. Yet he never lost his trust in Allah. He never compromised his character. He never allowed bitterness to replace his devotion. And when the time came, Allah elevated him in ways he never imagined. The lesson is clear. What looks like a dead end is often a divine detour. Allah does not waste pain. He refines it into purpose. But you must keep walking, not with motivation that fades, but with intention that endures. Think about Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him. He was willing to sacrifice what he loved most for the sake of obedience. He stood alone against a society that mocked his faith. He was thrown into fire for speaking the truth. And Allah commanded the fire to become cool and safe for him. The world saw destruction. Allah saw devotion. And devotion was rewarded with protection. Your trials are not random. They are responses to your sincerity. They are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you. The companions of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, faced mockery, exile, poverty, and immense hardship. Yet they did not curse their trials. They thanked Allah for the honor of being tested. Why? Because they understood that the test is where the transformation happens. You cannot build strength without resistance. You cannot deepen faith without uncertainty. You cannot learn patience without delay. Motivation tells you to quit when it hurts. Trust tells you to keep going because it is shaping you. I know what some of you are thinking, but what if I do everything right and still fail? What if I trust Allah and nothing changes? What if I am sincere and still get hurt? These are honest questions, and they deserve honest answers. First, sincerity does not guarantee worldly ease. It guarantees divine companionship. You may still face loss. You may still face rejection. You may still face illness, delay, or disappointment, but you will not face it alone. And that changes everything. The weight feels different when you know it is being shared by the one who never sleeps, never forgets, never abandons. The Quran says, whoever places their trust in Allah, He will be enough for them. Enough does not always mean comfortable. It means equipped. It means sustained. It means given exactly what you need to grow, even if it is not what you wanted. Second, trust is not a transaction. You do not trust Allah, so He owes you. You trust Him because He is worthy of trust. He is the best planner. He is the most wise. He sees what you cannot see. He knows what you cannot know. He arranges what you cannot imagine. Your job is not to understand it all. Your job is to walk through it with sincerity and trust that He is walking with you. Third, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every prophet faced rejection. Every believer faced trials. The greatest souls in history did not succeed because they never fell. They succeeded because they never stopped rising. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that strength is not found in never falling, but in rising every time you fall. That is the rhythm you are building, not perfection. Persistence, not motivation. Commitment. Let me bring this down to your actual Tuesday morning. How does this one thing show up when your child is sick, your boss is demanding, your bank account is tight, and your heart feels heavy? It starts before you even leave your bed. You pause. You set your intention. You say, oh Allah, make this day a means of drawing closer to you. Let my work be worship. Let my patience be praise. Then you move. You show up. You do what is in front of you with excellence, but you detach from the result. You do not tie your self-worth to the promotion. You do not base your happiness on the reply you are waiting for. You do not measure your faith by how fast things change. You measure it by how consistently you show up with sincerity. When things go wrong, and they will, you do not panic. You do not spiral. You do not blame. You breathe. You say, Allah is sufficient for us and He is the best disposer of affairs. Then you adjust. You seek solutions. You ask for help. You keep moving. But you do not let the setback define your relationship with Allah. You let it deepen it. When success comes, and it will, you do not become arrogant. You do not forget where it came from. You say, all praise is due to Allah. You share. You stay humble. You remember that ease is also a test. It tests your gratitude. It tests your generosity. It tests whether you will stay connected to the source or get lost in the gift. This is how the one thing lives. Not in grand declarations, in quiet consistency, not in perfect days, in faithful steps, not in the absence of pain, in the presence of trust. Now, let us address the confusion that holds so many back. Some people hear about trust and think it means passivity. They stop trying. They stop planning. They stop caring. That is not trust. That is surrendering your responsibility. Allah gave you hands to work, a mind to think, a heart to feel, and a will to choose. He expects you to use them. Trust is not an excuse for inaction. It is the peace that follows sincere action. Others hear about intention and think it means ignoring reality. They stop setting goals. They stop learning. They stop improving. That is not intention. That is complacency. Intention is the compass. Action is the journey. Trust is the anchor. You need all three. Without intention, action becomes empty. Without action, intention becomes wishful thinking. Without trust, both become exhausting. The beautiful truth is that this rhythm aligns with your natural state. You are created to strive, but you are also created to surrender. You are given strength to work, but you are also given humility to trust. When you ignore one for the other, you feel torn. When you work without trust, you burn out. When you trust without work, you drift. But when you combine them, you find balance. you find peace, you find purpose. If you want to live this one thing, you do not need a retreat. You do not need a guru. You do not need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You need a rhythm. Here is how to build it, step by step, without overwhelming yourself. Begin with intention. Every morning before the noise begins, take a moment. Place your hand on your heart if it helps. Say, Allah, I intend to please you today. Let my words, my work, my rest, my struggles be a means of drawing closer to you. Keep it simple. Keep it sincere. Intention turns the ordinary into worship. Separate effort from outcome. Do your best. Then mentally release the result. You cannot control how people respond. You cannot control market shifts. You cannot control health outcomes. You can only control your sincerity, your effort, your character. Focus there. Let the rest go. Replace anxiety with supplication. When worry rises, do not suppress it. Channel it. Turn to Allah. Speak to Him like you speak to a trusted friend. Say what you feel. Ask for guidance. Then listen. Often, clarity comes in the quiet after the asking. Practice micro-gratitude. Not once a day. 10 times. Thank Allah for your breath, for clean water, for a kind message, for a moment of peace. Gratitude rewires the mind. It shifts you from scarcity to abundance, from complaint to contentment. Forgive yourself quickly. You will slip. You will doubt. You will lose trust for a day, a week, a month. That is human. Do not let shame keep you stuck. Say, I seek forgiveness from Allah. Turn back. Try again. Allah's mercy is not limited by your consistency. It is multiplied by your return. End the day with reflection. Before sleep, ask yourself, did I try my best? Did I keep my intention pure? Did I trust Allah in the hard moments? What can I improve tomorrow? Keep it light. Keep it honest. Keep it moving. This is not about perfection. It is about direction. Are you walking toward Allah or away from Him? Every small step counts. Every sincere effort matters. Every moment of trust is a victory. When you live this one thing, you will not just change your life. You will change how you experience life. You will stop chasing peace and start carrying it. You will stop demanding control and start embracing trust. You will stop measuring your worth by external results and start grounding it in divine love. Your relationships will soften because you will stop expecting others to fix what only Allah can heal. You will stop demanding that people read your mind, meet your expectations, or validate your journey. You will learn to communicate with patience, to listen with presence, to forgive with grace. You will realize that not everyone is meant to understand you. Some are just meant to walk beside you for a season, and that is enough. Your work will deepen because you will see it as service, not just survival. You will stop asking, what will I get out of this? And start asking, how can I do this with excellence, honesty, and compassion? You will stop comparing your progress to others. You will stop resenting those who move faster. You will focus on your lane, your effort, your sincerity. And slowly, quietly, your work will begin to reflect your character. People will notice, not because you promoted it, but because consistency speaks louder than noise. Your trials will lose their terror because you will know they are training, not punishment. You will stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? You will stop seeing delay as denial. You will stop seeing silence as absence. You will start seeing them as preparation. Allah is not ignoring you. He is refining you. He is not punishing you. He is positioning you. The Quran reminds us that with hardship comes ease. Notice it does not say hardship ends ease. It says ease comes with it, or after it, or through it. The timing is His. The wisdom is complete. The mercy is wider than your pain. Your successes will lose their arrogance because you will remember they are gifts, not guarantees. You will stop taking credit for what was granted. You will start sharing what was given. You will stay humble. You will stay connected. You will remember that every door that opened did so by permission, not by power alone. And when the next door closes, you will not panic. You will trust that the next one is already being prepared. You will become lighter, not because life gets easier, but because your heart gets wiser. You will sleep better, breathe deeper, love more freely, forgive more quickly, hope more steadily. not because you have mastered life, but because you have surrendered to the one who masters it. And slowly, quietly, without fanfare, you will realize you have been transformed. Not by a hack, not by a system, not by a motivational video that fades by Friday, but by a return to your natural state, a return to your purpose, a return to the truth that was always there. You are not alone, you are not in control. And that is exactly why you can finally breathe. My dear friend, I do not know what you are carrying today. I do not know what you have lost, what you are waiting for, what keeps you awake, what makes you question your worth. I do not know the silent battles you fight, the prayers you whisper, the tears you hide, the dreams you keep locked away because you are afraid of disappointment. But I know this: Allah sees you. He knows the weight you carry. He hears the prayers you are too tired to speak. He notices the effort you make when no one is watching. And He has already prepared a path for you that is better than the one you are imagining. You do not need to figure it all out. You do not need to force it. You do not need to earn His love. It is already yours. Your only job is to show up with sincerity, do your part, and trust Him with the rest. Start small. Start today. Start with one breath, one intention, one step. The rest will follow. May Allah make your heart a home of trust. May He replace your anxiety with peace, your striving with sincerity, your doubt with certainty. May He make your efforts fruitful, your patience beautiful, your gratitude constant. May He open doors you did not know existed, protect you from harm you cannot see, and bring you to a place where you finally understand why every delay, every loss, every tear was leading you exactly here. May He grant you the strength to keep going when motivation fades, the wisdom to trust when the path is unclear, and the humility to remain grateful when blessings arrive. May He make your intention pure, your actions consistent, your heart steady, and your soul at peace. You are loved, you are seen, you are guided. Now, walk forward, not with fear, not with force, but with faith, and watch how everything changes.